Look who's here. Art Laffer, former Reagan economist. Art, let's talk politics for a second. Do you think that this political storm will have any effect on the election?
No, not at all. I mean, it makes perfect sense what the president said. Now, whether he should have done that or the other way around, I have no idea. But everyone knew that he knew the stuff and he did it correctly. And I think not panicking the country is a very defensible position to be in.
Okay, we got word that there's going to be a Senate vote today on a new virus aid package, lots of things included in it, but we're told it's simply not going to happen, not going to pass. Do you think we need more help for the economy at this stage?
This isn't help, Stuart. It's harm. It's adding to our deficit and the national debt, and it will cause problems to go. And I'm personally rooting for it not to make it. I think we've had enough stimulus, which is not stimulus, and I don't think we need any more at all. I don't think we need more debt, and I don't think it helps the economy, to be very straight with you on that. I don't
All right.
think so.
What do you think the economy needs most now?
I think it just needs time. I mean, you know, it takes some time to bring back the economy to full employment. I think it needs all these states that have all the restrictions that you talk about nonstop. Once those restrictions are lifted, all of a sudden you can get these states to start coming back. And when you're talking about states like California, New York, Illinois, New Jersey, these are big, big states. And once they get pro-growth, once they get the restrictions removed, because the disease incidence is less, you're going to get that economy continuing to boom. I think we're perfectly poised for a very, very rapid continued recovery in this economy. I'm very optimistic about the country and the economy.
But you're surely not looking for, like, New York State or certainly New York City or parts of California. You're not looking for them to open up quickly because they're not going to do that.
Well, no, wait a second. Just a few minutes ago, you said they'd stop the TSA stopped the investigation because it wasn't worth it. I've never seen a government stop something because it wasn't worth it. And now you're telling me that New York won't open? Oh, my goodness. I think New York will open. And I think when it does open, that'll be the very final throes of this recession down there. And I think we'll be on full path to full recovery.
I'm not trying to get you to say anything, Art, but I'm just intrigued that the major population states in the United States of America, that's California and New York, and to some, look, those two states are truly dragging their feet when it comes to opening up.
They are.
So I want, you know, I want them to open up. I want to get on with it. I want to see this economy restored to its glory. And I think that the Democrat states are holding things up. And I think, frankly, Art, I think it's deliberate.
Oh, I don't think it's deliberate. I really don't. But they are holding us up. They have a different view of the world, Stuart, than we do. They think that the governor is the correct ruler of the people. You know, you and I believe that power flows from the people to the governor, not the other way around. But, you know, you look at big states like Texas, like Florida, like Georgia, some of these other states that have opened up quickly are doing really, really well.
Yes, they are.
And we just have to wait for Newsom and Cuomo to get on the bandwagon, and Murphy as well. And I don't think they're doing it deliberately. That's really cynical, but I don't think they are. But I think they will open up, and when they do, this economy will be back to going. New York has had not many deaths at all in the last month.
True.
I mean, why they're waiting and waiting and waiting is beyond me, but that's Cuomo for you, and that's the New York way. Murphy's no better, and nor is Newsom.
Moi, a cynic? How could you say such a thing, Art Laffer? Good Lord, man. All right, time's up.
Well, you know I'm an eternal optimist. You know
we'll
that.
see you later. Thanks, Art. Good luck.